Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. I'm working on a little project today. This Bolens 20-inch cut. I got it going and the engine was banging. A lot of vibration. It's not the blade. So I won't be able to sell this Bolens like that. The engine's shot. So what I'm going to do is remove the Bolens engine, and I have an MTD similar engine that I'm going to put on this green deck. The MTD engine came off a rusty deck unit, so I saved the engine for future use. So I'm going to use it on this Switch-A-Roo. These small Briggs and Stratton engines are easy to remove. They're just held down by three 13mm bolts, and you access the bolt heads from the underside of the deck. You first start off by removing the blade, and then these three 13mm bolts, and the whole unit comes off. You can see the 3-bolt pattern there on the mower deck. So this is what it would be look like if you had it on its side and you needed to remove the blade first. You'd see something like this. So this is 5/8. Remove your bolt in the spacer washer. Blade comes off. They call this the star bit blade if you go to order these. And so this backing plate here can be a stinker. Sometimes they just fall right off. Other times they're rusty. So I give it a squirt of moose piss and let it sit for a little while, and then try tapping it off from the other underside. If that doesn't work, you could use a 3-way puller, and what you would do use the bolt that you took out, or I have a longer bolt. Let me back up here for a moment. What you'll see on some of the larger size engines is a longer shaft here. This brings the blade closer to the ground. You'll either have a short spacer or a long one. You only can use an engine with the same length shaft. They have other length shafts. This is the only deciding factor if you can switch out the engine, is the size of the shaft. If it's a long shaft, it won't work. The blade will be grinding the ground. So as long as the shaft length is the same, you'll be able to do a Switch-A-Roo. And you can see the different size shafts here. So what I did is I took the longer bolt from the longer shaft, screwed it down all the way, and then used the top of the bolt as my contact point. So you set that on there, make 3 points of contact, and then screw down, and what that'll do is lift off the bottom plate. Like I said, sometimes these pop off, or sometimes they're rusty like this one was. And there's a keyway. You got to make sure you line up your keyway with the keyway slot in the shaft. That only goes on one way. So I'll reuse the 20-inch blade that came off of the Bolens and just attach it to the MTD. And your brake cable is going to stay the same. Just reuse the same brake cable that came off the original mower. The attachment point for the safety brake cable, they're all the same on all these style Briggs and Stratton engines. So I'll salvage the gas tank and the carburetor off of the dead engine and use those on other projects. So now all you got to do is reattach these 3 13mm bolts once you flip this on its side, and then reattach your blade, and then finally the brake cable, and you should be good to go. What I'm going to do on this one is clean the carburetor first. I had just saved the engine, and the carburetor probably needs to be gone through. I'll clean that up, change the oil. I just sharpened the blade earlier, so we'll have a Frankenstein here, an MTD on a Bolens frame. I could take the beauty ring off and put the Bolens beauty ring back on it. The engine size is going to be a little different. This had a 4.5 horsepower Bolens, and I'm going down to a 3 horsepower MTD. But it's a small 20-inch cut, so it's not going to make much of a difference. It's still going to get the job done. Anywho, thanks for coming out and checking out this resurrection. I hope you kids and cadets have a great day today. Maybe I'll do a final walk around when I get this thing all bolted and put back together with some fresh gas in it. And a new air filter. I gotta clean all this stuff up. Talk to you soon.